Hi everyone, I'm Will from Dash, and in the last lecture we learned about passing multiple arguments to functions like the print function, and we also learned about variables. But also we came up with this way of not using variables and achieving the same result. But in this video we will see why using variables is much more convenient, and we also learn how to compose messages using variables. And without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so let's start with the code from the last lecture. So here we are using the multiple arguments technique to compose the message for us. So we are using input as an argument of the print function, and then the print function joins this data and composes the message for us. Okay, but what if we want to reuse this information that we capture here on input and use in the next phrase? Then we can't use this technique, because if we put input here, then the user has to type the name again, and we don't want that. Okay, so the way to do that is using variables. So let's convert this code to use variables. So here we are expecting names, so let's type name, and always use useful names for your variables, so you know what they are. And here we are expecting age, so let's change this to variables instead. Okay, so now we have the same result as the last one, but now we can reuse the name here to compose the next message. Okay, so let's do that and see what it looks like. So let's fix these typos too. And if we run that, we have nice to meet you, Will. Will, what's your age? Right? But there's a little thing that's very weird. There's a space here after the name, and print does this automatically. So when print joins the strings together, it adds a space, and we don't want that here. Okay, so let's try to fix this. So to fix this, we actually have to learn another way of composing messages, and this is what we are going to see now. So the first way I want to show you is using concatenation. Concatenation is just adding two strings. Like if you add two numbers, you can also add strings in Python. So a plus whatever here. So if we add, then Python joins those strings. Okay? So this is called concatenation. So how can we do that in our chatbot? Okay, so we have the name, then we can plus, then there's no space here, because when you concatenate, you add the strings together, and then the string don't have a space. So if we want a space, then we have to manually insert a space, add a space here. Okay, now it has a space, right? Can you see that? Okay. We add the space here, and now it has a space. But here we don't have that space, because we just added the comma in the first character. So now we know that the message will be fine. So Will, comma, space, what's your age? So that's much better. But you know, this is a lot of typing, and it's very easy to make a mistake here. So imagine that if you want to do that, just press the arrow key, and the interpreter will search for the previous lines. So this is the faster way to edit your code. So it's very easy to miss a comma here, and then Python will say invalid syntax. And if you are joining several variables and strings together, then this is very bad. So I want to show you a better way of achieving this. So the way is to use a special string type, which is the format string. It's the most modern way of composing messages. Okay, so we create this special string by typing F before the quote. So now Python knows that this is a special string because it has an F before the quote. Okay? And in this special string, we can use variables directly inside this string. So to do that, we have to just make a variable. So let me say name equals will. And then we can format the string. So my name is, and when we want to use a variable name, then we add curly braces and put the variable inside this curly braces. So my name is curly braces name. And then Python knows that this has the string will inside and it will join here. So this is much cleaner. You can see the spaces, you don't have to add spaces. It's much better to do this way. Okay, so let's improve our chatbot by using these format strings. Okay, so now we can use format strings, just put an F, and then we can use curly braces, name, so nice to meet you, name, and here we can also use curly braces, name, what's your age. Here we can use 2, so let's convert this. And now the code looks much better and we achieve the same result. So Will, nice to meet you, Will, what's your age? 12. Okay, so now we have this result with a much more cleaner way of doing this. So now you have more tools to play with, so try practicing using format strings, try to use concatenation, try to improve your chatbot. And if you like this video, please hit the like and subscribe to know when there's new lectures available. So I will see you in the next lecture, and bye bye.